Akashvani presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Naresh Margo. The headlines. President Droupadi Murmu to inaugurate Festival of Libraries 2023 at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Home Minister Amit Shah to hold review meetings on left-wing extremism and disaster management with Odisha government. ISRO all set for lunar orbit injection of Chandrayaan 3 spacecraft this evening. Centre assures domestic consumers of sufficient availability of sugar at reasonable price throughout the year. And in badminton, star shuttlers Prannoy and Priyanshu Rajawat to lock horns in an all-Indian men's singles semifinal at Australian Open today. President Droupadi Murmu will inaugurate the Festival of Libraries 2023 at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi today. The two-day festival will highlight iconic libraries from across the world in order to initiate a conversation on the modernization and digitization of libraries in India. The festival is a part of the second phase of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and is in line with the Prime Minister's vision to foster the development and digitization of libraries and cultivate a culture of reading in India. It aims at facilitating the formulation of action-oriented policies for the development of model libraries in India right down to the village and community levels. The festival is being organized by the Ministry of Culture. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar will grace the valedictory ceremony of the event. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lay the foundation stone for redevelopment of 508 railway stations across the country through video conferencing tomorrow. The stations will be redeveloped under the Amrit Bharat Station scheme at a cost of over 24,470 crore rupees. Master plans are being prepared for development of these stations as city centres with proper integration of both sides of the city. This integrated approach is driven by the holistic vision of overall urban development of the city centred around the railway station. These 508 stations are spread across 27 states and union territories. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has arrived in Bhubaneswar to attend several programs and meetings. He will hold review meetings on left-wing extremism and disaster management with the Odisha government today. The Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik will also take part in the deliberations. The Home Minister is also scheduled to inaugurate a few National Highway Authority of India projects in the state. Later, Mr. Shah will hold a meeting with the newly appointed state office bearers of the BJP and discuss the preparedness of the party for the ensuing Lok Sabha and Assembly elections due in 2024. He will address the leaders on ways to take the achievements of the Modi government in 9 years of governance at the centre to the people. The BJP has constituted a 4-member committee comprising women members of parliament to look into the incident of alleged gang rape and murder of a minor girl at Bhilwara in Rajasthan. The team will be headed by party MP Saroj Pandey. The committee will present its report to BJP President JP Nadda. In Jammu and Kashmir, in a run-up to the forthcoming Panchayat and local body elections expected to be held in October-November this year and the Lok Sabha elections next year, the BJP is holding a 2-day workshop of Panchayati Raj institutions at Patni Top in Udhampur district from today. The workshop will also include Block Development Council and District Development Council members. Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office, Dr. Jitendra Singh, will inaugurate the workshop. Ladakh is celebrating the 7th Ladakh RPALNAMS Tuston, the pride and glory of Ladakh today, with great fervour on the occasion of Union Territory Declaration Day. This year, the Union Territory is also celebrating the glorious 60th year of the formation of Ladakh Scout Regiment. The objective of celebrating this day is to educate the younger generation about the great historical past of Ladakh. A traditional cultural program, theatrical and musical show is also being organized to mark the special occasion. The National Health Authority NHA has announced the extension of Digital Health Incentive Scheme DHIS under the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission till the 31st of December this year. The Union Health Ministry said the scheme offers incentives of up to 4 crore rupees based on the number of digital health records created and linked to Ayushman Bharat health account numbers of the patients. Under the scheme, incentives are provided to hospitals and diagnostic labs and to the providers of digital health solutions. The DHIS was launched in January this year. The Indian Space Research Organization has said that it is all set for the lunar orbit injection of Chandrayaan 3 spacecraft at 7 this evening. The spacecraft to the moon has covered about 2/3 of the distance to the moon. Our correspondent has the details.
After lunar orbit injection, Chandrayaan 3 spacecraft is slated to orbit the moon multiple times, gradually approaching the moon. Once it reaches a 100-kilometer orbit above the lunar surface, the lander and rover from the orbiter will be detached and maneuvered to soft land on the surface of the moon. The spacecraft is expected to complete a 40-day journey to make a soft landing near the moon's south pole around August 23rd. India will be the 4th country to achieve this feat and the first to land softly near the lunar south pole. Chandrayaan 3 was launched on July 14th by GSLV Mark 3 launcher. Sudhindra, Akashvani News, Bengaluru.
This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. The centre has said that there is sufficient availability of sugar in the country. In a statement, the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution stated that as of last month, India had a sugar stock of about 108 lakh metric tons. The ministry emphasized that it is sufficient to meet the domestic demand for the remaining months of the current sugar season, that is October to September 2022-23. and also for optimum stock of about 62 lakh metric tons at the end of the season. During the period, the country is estimated to have production of 330 lakh metric tons of sugar after diversion of about 43 lakh metric tons for ethanol production. The ministry is assured that the domestic consumers will get sugar at a reasonable price throughout the year. It added that despite a record increase in the international prices of sugar, the country's average retail sugar price remains at nearly 43 rupees per kilogram, with less than 2% annual inflation over the past decade. Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology Rajiv Chandrasekhar has described the India-Japan partnership as pivotal for the future of Asia, the Indo-Pacific region and the world. Virtually addressing the first India-Japan Skill Connect conference held in Tokyo at the Indian Embassy, he highlighted the ongoing transformative shifts in the global landscape due to digitization and technology. Mr. Chandrasekhar also reaffirmed the government's commitment to collaborating with Japanese industries to establish skill hubs tailored to their needs, including language skills. The Enforcement Directorate ED conducted a multi-state search operation under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act at the residential premises of Puthenvitel Joseph Matthew in Maharashtra and Kerala. The raids were launched on the residential premises of PJ Matthew, who is the proprietor of Mumbai-based the Matthew International and multiple other businesses located in the two states. The raids were linked to an alleged criminal scheme of collecting crores of rupees from immigrants. The ED's investigation has revealed a conspiracy where Matthew and his associates are accused of recruiting nurses for Kuwait's Ministry of Health using a fraudulently obtained license. Matthew charged excessive service fees from each candidate and accumulated over 205 crore rupees. The search operation led to the freezing of bank accounts worth 76 lakh rupees and the seizure of documents related to immovable properties valued at 12 crore rupees. Further investigation is underway. In Uttarakhand, the search and rescue operation to trace the missing people in a landslide at Gaurikund in Rudraprayag district is underway for the second day today. Teams of the National Disaster Response Force, State Disaster Response Force, Police and District Administration are engaged in the search for the missing people. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami will also visit Gaurikund today to inspect and review the rescue operations being carried out at the site of the landslide affected. It may be recalled that the 20 people had gone missing in a landslide incident caused by heavy rain near Gaurikund on Thursday late night. To mark the completion of the year-long Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Tripura will join the cultural campaign titled Meri Mati Mera Desh, Ensuring Jan Bhagidari. Secretary of Information and Culture Department Dr. Pradeep Chakraborty said this at a press conference held at the Civil Secretariat in Agartala last evening. The cultural campaign title will be organized across the country from the 9th of August to the 30th of August. Once infamous for its dilapidated lakes and filth, Coimbatore has today become a role model for all the cities of the country for its lake management. These lakes, being developed under the Smart City mission of the Government of India, have not only enhanced the beauty of the city, but have also created new centers of tourism. Our correspondent reports that the Smart City mission was launched on the 25th of June 2015.
Under the Smart City mission, they rejuvenated 7 lakes by removing all the encroachments, shifting more than 7,000 pupils and reclaiming the 28 acres of lakefront as public open space. Coimbatore Municipal Corporation Commissioner M. Pratap told Akashvani News that with this innovation of Smart City mission, the level of groundwater has also increased and around 20,000 acres of agricultural area is getting water for irrigation. The city has re-established its lost connection with the nature and now has showcasing its natural heritage better both for the residents and the tourists by providing water sports, voting, food courts, 9-kilometer long cycle track and bird watching tower. Sanjeev Sharma, Akashvani News, Coimbatore.
Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has urged people to check out the Halla Bol series by the Sports Authority of India, showcasing the journey of athletes of the Indian contingent, which is gearing up for the 19th edition of the Asian Games. In a tweet, Mr. Thakur said that with just 50 days to the Asian Games 2023, the time has come for people to support Team India. In badminton, star shuttlers HS Prannoy and Priyanshu Rajawat will lock horns in an all-Indian men's singles semi-final at the Australian Open today. Both Indians have registered wins over the higher-ranked opponents in the quarter-finals of the Super 500 event in Sydney. Rising star Priyanshu Rajawat defeated former world number 1 Kidambi Shrikant 21-13, 21-8, while world number 9 Prannoy beat number 2 Anthony Sinisuka Ginting 16-21, 21-17, 21-14. Both Prannoy and Rajawat are seeking their second BWF titles of the season. However, two-time Olympic medalist PV Sindhu crashed out of the tournament after losing to world number 12 Weiwen Zhang of the United States 12-21, 17-21 in women's singles quarterfinals. In hockey, three-time champions India were held to a 1-1 draw by Japan in their second match of the Men's Asian Champions Trophy in Chennai. Ken Nagayoshi gave Japan the lead in the 28th minute, which was neutralized by India's skipper Harmanpreet Singh in the 43rd minute. Malaysia led the points table after the second round of the tournament with 6 points, while India were at the second position with 4 points. India will now play table toppers Malaysia tomorrow. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Saira Mushtaba.
Thank you, Naresh. The front pages of all dailies have covered the story of the Supreme Court's decision to allow the ASI survey to continue. Gyanvapi survey to go on in a non-invasive way, says Supreme Court, says the headline in the Times of India. The Tribune reports that Indian security agencies have flagged that Pakistan-based social media accounts are inciting violence in Mewat. Manipur curfew relaxed, unlawful bunkers removed, reports the Pioneer. Alongside a picture of a beaming Rahul Gandhi, a headline in the Times of India says, Rahul to return as MP can fight polls as SC stays his conviction. Bombay High Court judge quits, announces decision in open court, writes the Indian Express. Another grim climate record broken, oceans record their highest ever surface temperature, notes in the Sun Times. And finally, in what seems to be path breaking, the government is exploring the feasibility of beaming TV channels live on mobile phones. And with that, it's back to you, Naresh.
Thank you, Saira. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. President Droupadi Murmu to inaugurate Festival of Libraries 2023 at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Home Minister Amit Shah to hold review meetings on left-wing extremism and disaster management with Odisha government. ISRO all set for lunar orbit injection of Chandrayaan 3 spacecraft this evening. Centre assures domestic consumers of sufficient availability of sugar at reasonable price throughout the year. And in badminton, star shuttlers HS Prannoy and Priyanshu Rajawat to lock horns in an all-Indian men's singles semi-final at Australian Open today. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.